No worries. No worries. All right, hello, Mad. This is your girl, Nikki New, aka Nick to the New, aka Nick Kazabi with the truth. Created in front of Argh U Mad, the podcast for the people. So we are back. It is a Saturday night, and this is something new, especially for me as far as live. I typically like to do my recorded, my already recorded videos where I do my updates, but I say, you know what, let me go live because sometimes people may want to comment and or interact with the content that I am discussing or the topics that I'm discussing. So let's see who comes in. If you make it in, you're making it. If you don't, you don't. No worries. Okay, you catch the replay. I really love it that way, but we're gonna get straight to it. I'm a little exhausted, but in a good way. Like it's like time to wind down. So the voice has definitely gotten a lot lower than I normally like it. Anyway, the voice is a little lot lower. So let's get straight to it. All right. First topic. Okay, you know what? I've been meaning to discuss this, and I didn't get a chance to. And this happened on August the 1st. So congratulations to our dark skin baddie Coco Jones on officially being married to Donovan Mitchell. So I guess she is Coco Jones Mitchell or Coco Mitchell. That's her business. Okay. They got married on August the 1st in Greenwich, Connecticut. All right. They were engaged on July the 11th of 2025. Okay. Nice little turnaround. Nice little turnaround. They had been dating for 2 years before their engagement. Okay. And it says the wedding was intimate but definitely star-studded, of course, with Sierra and Russell Wilson, Jaylen Brown, Jalen Brunson, and I don't know, Bam Adebayo, amongst other guys, according to ChatGPT. But definitely, when I saw it, I think I reposted it obviously on my social media, but I didn't get a chance to officially, and formally like congratulate her on the platform. So ding, 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 and connecting with your person. And shout out to Sierra and Russell Wilson. Let me find out y'all about to be the matchmakers. Let me find out if y'all started matchmaking services. I may wanna look into that. I may wanna sign up for that. Okay. All right, so that was just one thing, one topic I wanted to cover. So ding, 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 ding. Congratulations to Mrs. Mrs. Mitchell. All right. Next up. Okay, so this gentleman I've been trying to get it. I was like, I didn't want to mess up his name or, the status of who he is. And as you can see, President, the president of Botswana, Mr. Duma Boko, because I'm trying to make sure I say correctly. And by the way, if I didn't introduce myself again, like, or discuss who it is and what we do, what I do, who I am, and what I do. Okay, so again, my name is Nicole Nuno, aka Nikki No, aka Nick to the No, aka Nick, because I'll be with the truth creating in front of Argh U Mad, the podcast for the people. So here I Mad, we're changing the narrative of mental health from an African woman's perspective, one podcast episode at a time, while keeping you mindful in 30 minutes or less. Obviously, the whole purpose of being mindful is just to kind of like think about the things that we do before we do them, or just to put some thought into our actions or our emotions and so forth. And so we just right now in this new series, we're kind of just like, I don't want to say new series, but in the episodes within the recent episodes that have been released, I have been like focusing on a few headline news and headline topics that might either catch my eye, maybe invoke some type of emotion or some form of I don't want to just say a response, but something that is worth talking about. Okay, so that's why you'll notice that we're covering a little bit more, trending and viral topics, because it just makes it a little easier as far as having the conversations, and adding that perspective to maybe something that may have already caught your attention. Okay, so back to the situation at hand. President of Botswana was going viral. Now, very interesting enough, when I pulled them up on ChatGPT, they no, when I pulled it up online, like doing my Googles and whatnot, they were stating that he was going viral because his attire, like in his, I think, I don't know which speech it was that he was doing, but they were saying that his attire was similar to the president of Burkina Faso. You know, President Traore. I don't know if it's Traore, excuse me. And they were saying that, you know, the military fatigue, so, you know, it was kind of similar too. So that's what was trending in regards to the African news, as per my Google search. But when I saw him, the clip that I saw that was viral, or the clip that was presented to me on my timeline, very important that I emphasize that, because, you know, different clips are presented to us based on, as you know, our algorithm and the things that we may be paying attention to. But whatever the matter is, that what drew my attention to him was the conversation that he was discussing about like marriages, and like, and you know, when it doesn't always work out. I know it's kind of close to, but just follow me, because I wanted to discuss him for a while. And if you don't know who I'm talking about, just Google him or search him on maybe Instagram and TikTok, and you might see what I'm talking about. So he was saying that if and when, like, let's say um, a union doesn't in fact work in regards to any party, he mentioned that the person who no longer wants to be in the union should be able to leave whenever they want to, like without being like ridiculed, or, you know, questioned, like, oh, why do you want to go, or having to express themselves on, like, you know, oh, this person did this to me, or this person did that to me. So I found that very intriguing, and I actually agree with him in that manner. Like, if somebody no longer wants to be a part of a union where two consenting adults, you know, come together as one, when if one person no longer wants to be in that, I think they should have the right to leave whenever they want to. Like, and without it being like a whole hoopla. Now, it might be unfortunate, like, you know, obviously somebody might definitely be heartbroken, but I think, in my opinion, and again, I should emphasize that I've never been married to, by the way, so that might be something different as well. But if somebody wants to go, I think they should be allowed to go too. Like, I don't think they should be held against their will, because that's like not kidnapping, but you know what I mean? Like, being held against your will is being held against your will. Like, I don't want to be here, so why am I forced to be here? So I thought that was pretty cool. I actually agree with that. Like, if somebody wants to go, let them go. What my girl say? If you don't want me, then don't talk to me. Like, go ahead and free yourself. Please free yourself. So that is something that I thought was pretty cool. I agree with the president of Botswana on that clip, that viral clip. So I thought that was like something I've been trying to talk about, but I just didn't get a chance to get to that. So that was that. All right, next up. Next up on my list of things to do before I take it down. Are we forgiven for the student loans or not? So I went back again and did like another little search, and wanted to kind of understand, like, yeah, what's really going on with the student loan. So in my findings, right, according to the information that was gathered and collected, let's see. Let me see what I got. Okay. Ooh, all right. So we got a couple things to just to look out for. So if this pertains to you, it pertains to you. If it doesn't, don't worry about it. All right, no big deal. But if you got some loans like me, which I've been kind of little kimming on, because that's just what it is, you know, like most of us. But all right, so it's like, all right, so what should we know, or, you know, are we forgiven? So basically, they're saying if you're on the SAVE program, you need to take action. The SAVE program, the SAVE plan is ending. All right, they're saying that it's ending, and it said, and borrowers who were enrolled in SAVE need to transition to another repayment plan. So if you have the SAVE program, start looking into another repayment plan. I have the SAVE program, so I need to start looking into another prepayment plan. So if you haven't done so, let's get to it. All right. So they're saying you could change They said they have a new plan called RAP, Repayment Assistance Plan, is now available, but payment calculations are different from SAVE. So they're saying that's important because someone who became accustomed to a very low SAVE payment shouldn't assume the payment will continue to be low. Federal Student Aid specifically recommends using this repayment calculator to compare available plans and estimated payments. Okay, so it says don't wait until the bill arrives to find out what your new payments are. So start proactively checking and seeing what your repayment programs are. So they're telling us that we can log into studentaid.gov even if you haven't made a payment recently. Okay, so do that and check out your dashboards, go to my loans, check your total federal loan balance, check your loan type, check your current servicer. And that servicer has been switching every now and then. So yeah, find out who is servicing you for your loan because child, every other, it's always switching up on my side and check and see when your next payment is due, interest rate, whether anything is delinquent, and whether you've received a new message or notice. Okay. All right. So you can do that on your own. I'm not going to spend too much time on that, but I wanted to go back and say, like, all right, what's the tea? What's going on with the student loans? And if any of you are familiar with that, then, you know, be our guest and enlighten us. Next up, what's going on? What's up with the midterms? 'Cause I don't know. I didn't really pay attention to politics. I'm not gonna hold you. Yes, I do vote. Before y'all come down my throat, pause, but I really wasn't paying attention. So yeah, these are just things that are kind of brought to my, that I feel like we should be mindful of. I feel like we should be paying attention to. So what should we be paying attention to? So I'm like, yo, what's up with the midterms? So they're saying election day is November 3rd of this year. Okay. Every voting seat in the US House, all 435 seats, is up for election. I think that's pretty much that's a big deal, along with 35 Senate seats. So there will also be governors, state legislature, local and other local races. I'm sorry, local and other races, depending on where you live. Okay. So the results determine who controls Congress for the next 2 years, and importantly, who has the power to pass, block, investigate, fund, or change federal policies from 2027 and onward. All right. Okay, so it says, all right, so what does that, yes, what does that actually mean to me? Like, yeah, so what does that mean to me? So what should we be paying attention to? So they're saying just don't focus on the presidential style headlines. You want to pay attention to so the midterms can change who controls the House, who controls the Senate, which party controls congressional committees, federal spending and budgets, student loan policy, which we just spoke about, which is why I'm like, yeah, let's find out what's going on with that. Healthcare policy, Social Security and Medicare legislation, taxes, housing policy, immigration policy, reproductive health policy, education policy, federal oversight/investigations, funding for agencies and programs. Okay, so there's a lot going on right now. I think there's pretty much a lot that it's a lot of tension anyway within the U.S. So if you are feeling a little bit uncertain as to where you should go or what you should do, maybe we should start paying attention to some of the policies that actually affect our lives directly. I mean, all of them do, but the one that you find the most important, and then just kind of research and see who is up for election in your state, and so forth and so forth and so on. Okay, so that's that. Next up, because we're not going to keep it boring, and I'm just, not that it's boring, but this is just, I feel like this is like, serious matters where we're like, okay, like let's take care of business. But now let's get to a little play. We're gonna call this segment Mad Funny because Argh U Mad. So you all know I was talking about Auntie Whoopi last week, right? So I guess according to the YouTube algorithm, they were like, oh, you like black comedians, and who are a bit mature. No shade, because Miss Leslie Jones is doing her thing these days, but Leslie Jones has been on my timeline, and y'all, I have been cracking up. Okay, so forgive me, but I did not watch her on Saturday Night Live because I didn't watch Saturday Night Live. But if you listen to her interviews, which I love watching her on different podcasts, like when I find a new comedian. Oh, sidebar. I enjoy the comedian podcast. I want to put that out there. I enjoy all the comedians that have their podcast. I enjoy all the comedians who um, tour and go on different podcasts because it allows us to get more of an insight of the person behind the jokes. So when I was listening to Leslie Jones and like, her journey, and what I love about her journey is she is all about the slow and steady, like slow and steady winning the race. And I'm like, yes, you know what I mean? You gotta ace that thing like fine wine. And and she will also say that when she was when they proposed to her to audition for Saturday Night Live, she was offended. So I don't want anybody to get offended, like, oh my God, like you didn't watch her. No, she didn't even want to be on there herself. She was like, what the heck, why y'all proposing me to be on that? Like, is this a joke? So I would recommend, I would recommend, for the dark skinned baddies, all right? Dark skinned baddies, because I'm always gonna rep, like when I see, like, I'm not a colorist, but I do favor the highly melanated because, I am highly melanated. My daddy is highly melanated. Like, I just find the beauty in the deeper or the darker, the blacker the berry, the deeper the roots, right? Wait, the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice, the darker the flesh, the deeper the roots. There we go, Tupac. So I like appreciate, like when I see like dark skinned women on camera, like on film or just in front of the TV, I'm just like enamored. So I'm just looking like, yes, yes. How's your lighting? How are you glowing? You look good. Like, like you're doing it. I love the color, the choice that you picked. So what I admired and what I enjoyed about watching or binging Leslie Jones's YouTube features is how, like, first of all, how raw she is. I love the rawness. She's just like, I want some dark. I'm like, tell me more. But I love that about her, and I love how she is like continuing to embrace who she is, and you can see it exuding as she continues to mature. Like, yes, you'll see her like she said, like t-shirts and jeans, where she just like, because she's at work. But I also like watching her, like, play dress up, and when she does get glammed up, when she does, like, rock the nice cut, like rock the popping colors that like enhance her skin and enhance her smile and stuff like that. So Leslie Jones, kudos to you. You are my mad funny feature for this week, because apparently, and I love to laugh. Like, I love a great kiki. Like, I'm always laughing. So I thought that was pretty much bomb. And I think that concludes all of the topics that we'll be discussing in this week's Are You Mad upload. All right. So this one was a little bit, I don't know what it was, but it was what it was. And we're going to keep it short and sweet because I need to go get some rest. My eyes are probably damn near closing on this camera, but I knew that I had to come on, and because I remember listening to Tasha K, who I've also been binging as well, not as much as like, my initial fixation, but she is now in my algorithm, so I am also subscribed to her channels and I get to watch her. And she was saying something about like doing this or presenting herself even at times when she doesn't want to. And I thought of that. I considered that at this moment, because I was like, yeah, I could have just got myself ready, got myself dressed, and gone to bed. But I was like, no. When I feel like I'm a little bit, I guess I don't want to say dressed for the occasion, but when I feel like there's something there to turn the light on and do it, I'm gonna do it. Or I have enough topics to discuss. I'm gonna when the schedule, when opportunity permits within the week, I'm just gonna stop and record. Either it might be live or it might be pre-recorded, but you're gonna get it, okay? And I can't wait to get something new out to you. But I'm not going to talk about it until it's ready to be pushed out. But in the meantime, in between time, I'd like to thank you all for being here, for catching a replay, for those of you who stopped by, who took a peek. I know it's late. It's Saturday night. You're probably outside. Matter of fact, you should be outside. And especially if you're 20 something, I want you to be outside enjoying enjoyment, living a good life, enjoying the summer breeze and just the moonlight, and then whatever the universe and the creator has for you to enjoy. So continue to just, do your thing, keep shining, right? And continue to tap into the gift and whatever that is that God has intended for you to do. All right. So that's all I got. All right. So I'm gonna head out. I hope you guys stay blessed. Be blessed and be a blessing.